Last time it said fixed score counter for really large scores. That's what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to get into it. Probably just going to do this for tonight. Score counter for large scores. Okay. Score counter. Okay. Draw transition. If the score tabulated is 0, score 1 up, wait. It's 1. Score counter is less than score, then score counter plus equals 2. Alright, let's see how that looked all the way at the end. $70, I think it was. And then the weight, 1 up weight. Try to do 100. All right. There we go. All right. All right, that was only 178, but it should go a little bit quicker. We should have like a sliding scale. So I think that's good enough to get started, and then we can do a final test at the end. So where is the transition? Draw a transition. All right, there it is. Okay, so we've got the all right, we got the score tabulate, score counter is less than score, score counter plus equals 2, and then okay, so this one. So the score counter is less than score, then score counter equals 2, and we're going to count up to the score counter. Right, and then just print that. But what we really want to do is we want to print the we want to print the score counter, I guess. If score counter is less than score, it's going to count up. But if it's equal to score, then it could, well, it's not going to add that one, but it's going to add 2. So that's probably fine. But it's only going to add 2. But if it's like really large, then we've got to add a little bit more. If it's like 1,000. So if it's 100, we want to count by ones. But if it's 1,000, we want to count by tens. So we need to divide score by 10, I guess. So I guess we want a multiplier. Probably makes sense to put local variables at the top over here. Local multiplier equals floor of score divided by 10. If multiplier, yeah, I guess if multiplier is less than 1, then multiplier is equal to 1, probably because we don't want, we want to prevent negative numbers and stuff like that. So we could do that. And then I think we're good for that. Yeah. All right. And then that's right. All right, I'll do that one later. Okay. JS Paint thing. All right, so if the multiplier is less than 1, then multiplier equals 1. And okay, so now score counter is plus equals 2. Let's just try score counter plus equals multiplier and just see how that looks before we. And then probably want to take the floor. Oh no, wait, it's this floor of score counter divided by 10. Well, you know what? We'll see what that ends up happening. I don't know if that's going to give us an integer. I think it's going to give us an integer though. Wasn't really long enough now because it was dividing by 10. So 20, so I guess you want to divide by 100 then? Wow. So that was 1. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to divide by 100, but then multiply it by 2. It's got to be one of these. There we go, 2. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now, I guess now we change it to play from the beginning of the level, huh? Default 0, good. Okay. Yep, there's playing over here. Yep, just collecting these raindrops. Ah, drone. Yep, got hit by the drone. Alright, getting close to the end over here. 171 is close to 175, which I think is the end. Yep. Now we're about to see what that score looks like. That's it. All right. Draw transition done. Okay. Transition is done. That one can get marked off. Fix score counter for really large scores. Awesome. All right, altitude bar. That's next. All right, so the altitude bar. How do we want to do this? It's going to have to go along one side of the screen. Probably going to be the right side of the screen. I'm thinking blue with every other or every third dot. So we've got, then again, a lot of stuff is blue. We could miss that. Let's see. Maybe we just want to make it dark gray. Let's see what kind of colors we have to work with. Very good. Take these up. Yeah. Probably we could try to start out with dark gray and see how it goes. All right, what color is that? That's color number 5. All right. So let's do that. Let's draw. So this is going to go altitude bar. This is going to go where we know negative altitude. Negative altitude. Let's see. Okay, so negative altitude, we know that all over the place. So probably going to go and draw. Overlay state is 1. Probably don't want to draw anything when it's up really super high. So at the end of this one, overlay state 1, then we can worry about this altitude bar. Altitude bar. Okay, and then draw altitude bar. What is this one? Update. Oh, okay. So draw transition. So right before this, I guess. Function draw altitude bar. Let's see. Gotta have one of those, and then end. Right. All right. So So we probably want to place a pixel, which is just looking for placing a pixel over here. Let's see, where is this? Placing a pixel. And then an SBR, because that's the sprite. Circle, fill, P set. There it is. X, Y, and then a color. Okay. So, so the Y value is going to go to between 0 and 128, and the X value is always going to be like 128, I guess. So draw altitude bar. Okay, so let's do P set. Negative altitude goes from 0 to 175, so we have to scale that somehow. So first it's going to go for I equals 0 to 128 do, and then we're going to P set the X value is always going to be 128, and the Y value is always going to be I, but it's not exactly going to be I. Oh, okay. But so it's only going to go up to whatever this value is. So this value is going to be, we'll start out with negative altitude. And then the color is going to be 5. That seems pretty simple. Let's check it out. Let's see if we can unclose function at line 800. Yep, there it is. Or it could be 0 to 127. That could be, because we should be seeing it by now. Yeah, so I think it's 0 to 127. All right, and so that we could debug this faster, I'm going to increase the weight. To 100. Let's see how this starts out. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Yeah, so this is probably going to be 127. So it's probably 0 to 127. Because I'm right at the limit over here. Yep, there it is. I see it already. Yeah, it doesn't look 100% accurate. And since it comes at the end, it's going to be drawn on top of everything else. So I think it should become at the beginning so that it's okay, and then it's going to stop at 127, so it's got to be scaled, and I can't draw every single one. So let's see how every other one looks. So first let's draw altitude bar. Let's move it up. All the way over here. So it's drawn at the beginning on top of everything. And then, where's the altitude bar? Okay. This is the update function. All right, where does this go after that? Draw altitude bar. Draw transition. Local altitude bar, negative altitude. Pixel. Okay, so we want every other altitude, or every third. If I mod 3 equals 0, then draw that pixel. So let's see if that works. So that looks like it's every other. So we need every fourth one, maybe then? I don't know how that's gonna look. It's probably gonna be every. No, it can't be every fifth one. Not sure how that's gonna look. Yeah, that looks like it. Oh, but let's see. Is it going to draw on top of this or behind or underneath this? That's another question. Because we might end up obscuring it if it's not drawn on top of everything else. Or we have to be very careful about where we draw it. So I'd like it to come in front of the... I don't seem to be hitting into it yet. I think it is. I think it's going to... I think the background is going to be drawn on top of this. That's what it looks like. So at the end you won't be able to see it at all. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good feeling. Yep. Okay, so that gets drawn on top of everything. So it's got to stay at the bottom. We could probably do every fifth one then, in that case, but then we still have to take this negative altitude and make it something else. So if we have 1, 2, we have 1, and it goes to 128, 127, 0 to 127. That's where this thing is being drawn. We have to make it from 1 to 128. Then, or 175, it gets compressed somehow. So let's see. All right, so we've got 175 divided by 127. So we take each, well, no, we take each value and we multiply it by, now we've got 127 divided by 175. So we take each value and we divide it by 72. So if you move up, so what is going, let's see, what goes in evenly into that, into 72? Well, 72 is close to 3. Yeah, 72 is close to 3/4, or 0.75. So maybe it's 3. 3 divided by, yeah, 0.72 times 3, 2.16. There we go. 6. Okay, 7. So when we're at 7, we're actually going to be at 5. I think that's what we want. So that when we reach 127, yeah, we're going to be at, when we reach 175, we're actually going to be at 127. So we've got to divide 127 by whatever the current altitude is. Or we have to just divide it by 127 divided by 175. And I'm wondering if we store 175 as like a max altitude, or no, we just hard coded that somewhere. Okay, that's fine. We'll always have to fix it later, especially if we run out of space. You know, there's going to be a whole huge refactoring stage at the end to try to not run out of space. Okay, so then this thing has to come in front of some stuff, but behind other stuff. So it's got to come in front of the background. So let me go. Let's do that first. Draw altitude bar. All right. So it's going to go in front of the clouds, behind the drones and girders, behind the droplets, behind 1UP, right? 1UP draw. And it can go in front of the clouds because everything over here above this is the background. And everything over here is the foreground. So paste it over there and then put a comment. Above is background. Below is foreground. Okay. All right, so that's that one. And then the altitude bar, we said local multiplier equals 1. Oh. All right, 127 divided by 175. So that's the multiplier. And then this thing is going to be 1 to the multiplier right now. And then the multiplier is going to have to be that. So then we need local. This is the current altitude. Current altitude equals the negative altitude, which is the global, multiplied by the multiplier. And we probably want to take the floor of that. And then current altitude, and then fill in every fifth one. There we go. So that should be everything that we want for this altitude meter. Missed it. Alright. Alright, I missed how it looked at the end. But actually for this, we could probably ramp the negative altitude up to, I guess, 160. Take a look out, see how it looks. Because that's above 127. And it seems like it works up to there. Okay, so you can see it, but it's kind of obscured in the background. The other thing we could do is have something that looks like a droplet that's going down. So we could have a line at the end, and then have a thing that fills it in. See how that looks. Okay, so I think it's 12 is the. All right, so the other thing we could do is, before we do any of this stuff, draw a line, which is there we go. All right, so it starts off at, the color's 12, and then I think it's X, Y initial, so that's 0. Yeah, that's 127, comma 0. Always starts off at that. Oh, and then it always goes down to 128, comma 128. No, that's not gonna be right. So 127. So let's just try to do that. Oh wow, that's weird. Okay, and then we don't want every fifth, we want every single one. But we want to swap the colors. Okay, so this one is going to be 5. And this one's going to be 12. All right, let's try that. Right. All right, 127. Okay. Oh, and then we don't want every fifth one. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, and then let's check out, see what the progression looks like. So we will have to set the negative altitude back to 0. There we go. So now the other issue is we're taking up valuable space over there. We may want to put it either at the bottom of the screen or something else. I'm not sure. Which is just, it's now that we got all the math worked out, it's just orienting it somewhere out the way. Okay. All right, so let's write that down. Altitude bar. This one's done. All right. Orient at change to bottom of screen. To top of screen. Smaller indicator, like a little tiny little thing on one of the sides over there. We could do that. What else could we do? Yeah, smaller indicator, change the bottom of the screen, change the top of the screen, smaller indicator, something like that. What else could we do? I guess I'm going to put a score, and maybe we'll have it around the score. So something like that. All right, display score. It's probably going to be super small, but I would like to make it a function because right now we just have the text. So we have the CPU, negative height. Actually, this stuff we might need, so I'm going to comment that out, and then I'm going to below this background, below this background, HUD, and HUD. Heads up display. Okay, and now over here is going to be what's going to be over here? Oh, score. Draw score. All right, so score is going to be pretty easy to draw. It's just going to go right below this one. Draw altitude bar. Let's see. Function draw score. And then this one is going to be a local multiplier, current altitude line, set draw score. And then we need the text over here. Right, there it is. Okay, something like that. Let's check that out and see what it looks like. Oh, as each one is ending, that's how the score is being calculated? Interesting. I had no idea. There it is. Or this thing. So that's where it's getting called. So what we really need to do is figure out if the one-up character self weight equals 0. Okay, so the score has to be right over there. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, it seems like a lot though. Score, take up a lot of text space over there. Okay, so we want some other type of indicator that's not going to take up as much space. So I think, let's see, I need some inspiration from Super Mario Brothers. There we go. All right, so Mario. So that had a whole list of indicators up here, and I guess that was going in the background behind stuff. You had no idea how far you were with the level, but you did have a score over here. So it wasn't a score, it was called drop. So need 2 lines, one called drop. No, really it's called raindrop, and then there's a score underneath it. So then again, we're dealing with a smaller screen. So let's see if we can just get rid of score in general and just print the actual number. And we probably want to subdue the color a little bit. So let's go with 5. There we go. Yeah, that's probably what we want to go with. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to donate just one line at the top, because you really need to see the bottom of the screen, what's coming up from the bottom. So much so that you can't put it at the bottom, because that would be a distraction over here. We can't even get to the bottom over here because we block it off. The sides give you vital information on what's happening with obstacles and where stuff is. So you really need all of this space to be cleared up. So we got to put it at the top then, it looks like, because stuff is coming from the bottom. I think that decision is going to be made for us. All right, so this has to get changed around a little bit, this altitude bar. Okay, so even though that it's, you know, it's going to go from left to right, it's instead of top down where it's like dripping down, it's going to be the other side. So so the line is going to go from 0, 0, and now instead of in the Y, it's going to go in the X across. So that's going to go from 127 to 0, and then the pixel set is going to be it's going to be 0 the entire time in the Y direction, and then it's going to be I everywhere else. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty cool. There we go. So now we do have like a ceiling, but you know, it's not that bad. It's just an informational thing over here that, you know, that we can't go above. Alright, let's just finish this one out. Okay, then I also wanted to do if the score is, yeah, so let me write that down right here while I'm trying to finish the Alright, if 1-up is hit, then score is reduced. If 1-up loses, then score is set to 0. I want to put those two things in there. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the next steps. If 1-up's hit, the score is reduced. If 1-up loses, then the score is set to 0. And then I think that's the end of the stage. Then we have to do transition to stage 2. All right. We'll do that next time. Bye.